যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি সবাই ফিরে যায় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাবার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাবার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, তবে পথের কাঁটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
दोस्तों, आप सभी का स्वागत है आपके मनपसंद कार्यक्रम एकला चलो रे में, और आपके मेजबान पपीहा नंदी का आदाब और नमस्कार कबूल कीजिए। उम्मीद है आप सब हमेशा की तरह आज भी इस नए कार्यक्रम का लुत्फ उठाएंगे। पेशे खिदमत है एक बेहतरीन नया प्रोग्राम जिसका नाम है एकला चलो रे, जिसमें आप पाएंगे कुछ कही और अनकही आप बीती कहानियाँ, तो कहीं कुछ दिलचस्प भरी बातें जिससे आप बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं। It's a new series where I would like to give back to the community through Ekla Cholo Re, and here you will find that even in your despair there is hope and light, and you will be inspired to continue your journey with faith and inner strength. I'm grateful for your love, support and appreciation, and also a big thank you to our sponsors who make it possible for us to present this program. I would like to invite you to come and share your experiences with our viewers. How you can be a speaker or can host these discussions at your place, please visit www.papiha.com and fill out the form. And now our lines are open, and if you'd like to participate in our next shooting and want to know about the topic of our next taping, then please give me a call right now at 510-593-7151 or send an email to papiha@papiha.com.
Infertility is something that hurts in a different way, because the moment it starts happening, you would take it completely personal without considering the various other factors that may come into role. The reason is the person starts to blame oneself, and it's not something easy to talk about. And that by itself causes a stigma in its own way. And it even becomes harder when there is the family support that is very much required in scenarios like this is not there. Not only is the person blaming themselves, but if everyone else is also putting the finger on you, it just has a very, very negative effect on bringing about any sort of success that could be very much possible. You don't want to bring them down, but you want to say that, hey, this is something not unsolvable solution. Look for options. There are millions of options out there, and it need not be you. It's two people are playing a role into this. It's not just you. So go search for yourself.
कभी आपने सोचा है कि एक स्त्री के दिल में क्या गुजरती है जब बहुत कोशिशों के बावजूद वो मां नहीं बन पाती है? बहुत सी महिलाएं ऐसा सोचना भी नहीं चाहती, या कभी उन्हें यह ख्याल भी नहीं आया होगा कि वो एक दिन मां नहीं बन सकती। मां बनने की लालसा और उसके ऊपर लोगों के कटु शब्द किसी भी नारी का दिल तोड़ सकता है। चलिए आज हम देखते हैं कि हिम्मत और उम्मीद पर कैसे सभी आरजुओं को सच किया जा सकता है, और अगर परिवार का भी साथ हो तो इस चिंता पर बहुत हद तक काबू पाया जा सकता है। हमारे इस एपिसोड में आज हम इनफर्टिलिटी के विषय में बात करेंगे। आज के इस एपिसोड में आप पाएंगे that there is always light after the dark। जैसे कि मार्टिन लूथर किंग ने कहा, only in the darkness can you see the stars। हमारे आज की जो गेस्ट हैं उनके लिए ये एकदम सटीक बैठता है। इस कार्यक्रम में आज हम देखेंगे कि कैसे बच्चे ना होने पर कोई केवल दुख और पीड़ा ही नहीं सहता, बल्कि patience and perseverance is also required when you are being treated for not being able to conceive a child. How this phase can mentally and emotionally drain a person, but how well our guest face the situation, let's watch it. You're looking very beautiful.
Thank you.
And that red really looks good on you.
Oh, thank you so much, Papiha. I wanted to kind of share my story about my journey with infertility, but I wanted to start with the color red. And red is, at least in Hinduism and in the Indian society, is very much core to who we are. And when we get married, we have to wear red. When we get into a new house, we have to put feet in the red altar and go in. It's all because it's all about fertility, right? It's about fertility, and that's why women are always in red and we have to put the red sindoor. It's actually not about the husband, it is about you being fertile. So, like a lot of women, when I got married, my mom started saying, come on, it's time to have kids, right? And like a lot of women now, I didn't feel like I was ready till I was in my mid-30s. And, I had a career, I had my green card, I had all these things that I needed to take care, buy a house. And so by the time I started trying, it's kind of late in the game, I was kind of mid-30s, and I was like, one fine day I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready, I think financially we are ready, and let's try. And when I started trying, it just didn't happen. And meanwhile, I had a lot of support from my family. I had a lot of support from some friends like Vinita Di, but there were also a lot of people who started excluding me from functions.
When did you find out that it's not happening? Because here you're ready to have a baby. Okay, so did you discuss that with your husband?
Yes,
So you both
definitely we did. We decided that
Yeah.
it's time and we should start trying.
So after how many days or months you said, oh my God, was it a shock to you like, oh my God, we had been trying and I'm not
Actually,
conceiving?
it was a couple of years
Oh.
that I tried, and it just wasn't happening, and the peer pressure was just humongous, right? Like, what's going on? Is everything okay between you guys? Are you not having sex? Like, there was a lot of questions, embarrassing questions that I had to answer. And everybody was in my business, asking why I was not having a child. And here I was trying really hard. And my doctor said,
Poor
stop
lady.
trying hard. Like, when you try hard, it doesn't happen. And I'm like, really? Like, like most working women, I have like a plan for myself, right? So
Yes.
it was not for my organized plan, and I was totally thrown off. And people don't think that it's a medical condition, and that's why I wanted to talk on this show, because it is a medical condition. It should not be a social taboo. I did go out and I did get help. I actually went to UCSF, and I had my baby there. I got myself checked out, and they're like, yeah, nothing's wrong. You can have a baby, but you are 35 plus. You need some fixing. It'll happen.
Oh.
And then I conceived my baby, and I had my baby. And today I have a baby and a full life because I asked for that medical condition, condition to be solved, and asked for that help.
So please tell me about that incident which you were just now mentioning, that they didn't invite you because it's a very auspicious event in someone's house. So what happened? Just tell
So
us.
what happened is, there is this thing called Varalakshmi Puja in the Telugu custom. My husband is Telugu, and usually every year I used to get invited. So married women get invited, and you go, you take the blessings, and then they gave you some the offerings back, and you can go home with it, and you get blessed in the process, and then you invite other women. It's kind of like networking a little
Yes.
bit. But it is this very auspicious puja that happens in August, and it's a Lakshmi puja. So you would think that any woman is a Lakshmi. It doesn't matter if you're divorced, if you're married, if you're single, like
And
you
if you
are
don't have
Lakshmi.
a
Like,
baby.
what is the problem? And if you don't have a baby, like, what's the problem, right?
Like
So-
your issue, right?
yeah. So when they called me, I didn't find out, and I was telling my husband, like, oh, this year, I got called only to one house. Usually lots of families who are doing it in their houses will invite me,
Okay.
over in the evenings to go and, take the tambalam
part of it.
and be part of it. And I started asking some people, and other friends of mine got invited. So I asked them, and they were like, yeah, it's only, she might be feeling, because she's trying for a baby and she's pregnant, that she doesn't want you to come because nazar lag jayega, and you don't have a baby. And you know, these are not uneducated women, right? This is the 21st century. We are not talking when, you know, my mom was little. Like, we are talking about 21st century. We are talking about America. We are talking about educated women
And professional
and
women.
professional women
Yeah.
who still believe, you know, in these idiosyncrasies, in this stupidity almost, right? And instead of, and obviously they're not true friends anymore, but
Yeah.
at that point they were good friends. And you know, it's not about the blouse piece, it's not about the apple.
Yeah,
If I can afford an apple, by God's grace, it's really about the fact
And
that
the feelings.
that I got
Yeah.
left out
Yes.
because I don't have a child.
That must be very
Right?
sad.
Because
Yes.
she thought that I was barren. Right? And my thing was, because maybe at that time I hadn't conceived, instead of giving nazar to other women, I was actually trying to be in their company because I wanted that support system. I wanted to see kids. I wanted to be in that environment. Right?
Yes, yes.
So not only was the pressure there that, you know, something's wrong with you or with your husband or with your relationship, like something's going on here, but it was also about the, you know, getting cut off from that
The
piece of
society.
socializing. And so it was a very hard time. And at that very hard time, the Panditji at the temple really helped me, and he pulled me in, and he's like, you know, he really supported me through that period. And he's like, you know, it'll happen. And if it doesn't happen, you can adopt a child. There's so many people who have kids and don't take care of the kids and dropping them in, you know, garbage bins.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, you know, and he's also an astrologer. So he said, you know, I see it, it's going to happen. And one day I remember I was so upset with him. I'm like, you keep saying it's happening. It is not happening. I don't know, wrong chart. You're not doing the math right. Something wrong. And one day my mom said the same thing. She said, you know, I believe it. I know you'd have a child. And I was like, this is not happening. You start looking in India and Mother Teresa. I told her, let's get in line because I really want a child, right? And at that
You want to
time,
become a mother.
I
right?
wanted to have that experience of being a mom,
Okay.
right? And my mom was very, very supportive. And her name by chance is Durga, and I'm very much into Ma Durga because she stands for, not because of religious reasons, but because
Inner
spiritually
strength.
she
Yeah.
stands for inner strength. And I think I would have gone into depression if my family was not there to support me. If they were not there saying, you know, one day this is going to happen. Just keep trying. And you know, even through the fertility treatments, those are hard. They really mess up with your brain, right?
How did you feel during that time?
Crazy. Like crazier than I'm usual.
So were you like, if somebody even mentioned anything about that, oh, you're not going to have a baby, did you just erupt it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there were days that I had to run from work because, you know, it's the female clock ticks. You call the doctor, they call you and they want to check you up. And, you know, I was already going through a lot of stress at work trying to figure out my timings. And, you know, at that time at work, stuff happens in leadership where I'm like, I'm so irritated. I could just like murder these people. Like,
Got it.
please edit that, please.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like, you know, because of the drugs that they give you, you are at peaks, and it little things really irritate you.
Bothers you.
And
yeah.
instead of women supporting me,
Yeah,
I know
they
I can actually count on my hand how many actually supported me.
You can count? That means you're very lucky.
Yeah, on one hand, right? Not on two.
Yeah.
But the point is that, you know, there were women who supported me. Women like Vinita Di, who knew what I was going through, was praying. Like, she's not related to me. She volunteers with me in the temple, right? But she became more than my own sister at that time because she was like, I'm praying for you. I'm supporting you. It'll happen. I can't believe, you know,
great.
you do this, you pray, you do this, you focus, it's going to happen for you. And the time that I relaxed, it did happen. And I did have my wonderful child.
जैसे कि आपने सुना है, आजकल मेडिकल साइंस ने बहुत तरक्की कर ली है और अगर आपको बच्चा नहीं हो रहा है तो उसका इलाज है. But before one goes through this treatment, one needs to cooperate and have patience with the doctors as well as with herself. इस सफ़र में ना केवल मेडिकल साइंस ही बल्कि घर परिवार के लोगों का साथ और दोस्तों की हौसला अफजाई बहुत ज़रूरी होती है. उसके बगैर ये काम अधूरा है.
You told me when you went to UCSF, so they will take your egg and then they will inject like 3 eggs back to you to have that baby. So each time when you went there with lot of hope.
Yeah.
But when it didn't work, how did you feel? What was your mental frame during those times?
Yeah, so every time that you go through the process, I mean, there are different types of fertility treatment. The one I went through, definitely they try to get you pregnant. So instead of putting one embryo you knew, they put 3. Every time you go with a lot of hope, like you said. I was lucky that in the first try itself I got pregnant, but within 9 weeks I actually, miscarried. And that
you're
was
the first baby. Oh.
So for me, like, it was a life in me. After years of like trying,
you get that baby.
I was all psyched up, like, oh, this is happening, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm normal like everybody else, because you go through those phases.
Yes.
I lost the baby at 9 weeks. And I say baby, a lot of people are like, that's an egg. Like, what are you talking about?
No, it's still
but
your
for
baby.
me, that's
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And the day that I went to UCSF, they told me that there is no heartbeat. I actually thought that their machines, of course, up till that time, I felt like their machines always work. But that day, I was like, your machines are not working.
Oh.
So I actually came home, and obviously I did the crying and trying to get it out of my system. But then I told my husband that let's go to Castro Valley. I need an appointment there tomorrow. I want to see if it's really the machine or is it really that this has happened. And I actually did go to Castro Valley and get it checked, and they said, yeah, unfortunately, this happens to everybody, not because you're going through fertility treatments, it happens to everybody. And there was a loss. There was a big loss in my life.
Yeah.
And because it's that heartbeat that's not there. And it is very emotional because you've gone through medication, you've gone through checkups,
So much of hope, right?
so much of hope
Prayers.
from your husband
Your
and you
faith.
and your family, my parents. We were all so like, oh, this is happening. And we were so scared the second time I went through it that, oh my God, can I go through this again? Will this really happen for me again? What if it is the 9 weeks or the 10 weeks or whatever? And luckily, I got lucky, and Ma Durga has been in my life, and it's all worked out.
And did you already had thought of a name for your baby, the first baby?
Yes, I did. I actually always thought that my grandma always used to say that she'll be coming in my womb.
Yeah.
And so I had already thought about the name. I knew in my heart that, till that time I was very practical from a science perspective. But of course, at that point I was like, I know I'm out having a girl. Dida is coming back to me. She always said she's going to come in my womb. So it's hard.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm so happy that you have such a beautiful story to tell us, because even that baby didn't come. That baby still chose you as the mother. You're still the mother. That baby gave you a glimpse of how a mother has to feel. And then the baby who really came in your life, who is there, made you a complete mother. God wanted you to walk on this path, really, to become a complete mother, really ready to be a mother and to embrace when your child comes. So I think that was your experience.
Yes, and that's why we call him Ashish, because he is a blessing.
Blessing, Ashish. Oh. So once you have the baby, now whatever you went through, those experiences, did they haunt you with this child? Did you like every moment thought, oh my God, I have to be really careful. I don't want to lose this child. I don't want to lose. I don't want to do anything.
And absolutely, it's super paranoia, and people who know me know that I'm paranoid to begin with, so this is super paranoia. But it was like, even when I woke up at night, I had a C-section, and when I woke up at night, I would look at the baby and say, oh my God, is somebody going to wake me up? Is this a dream? So, so I think super paranoia is there as a mom now, but I think initially it was that, oh my God, is this a dream, and is somebody going to rudely awaken me from the dream? And it's just amazing. And I always used to think, I used to tell my mom, who's also a professional woman, that, at some point when I was trying and it was not happening, I was like, it's overrated, this whole mom thing. It's totally not overrated. Like, I laugh so much. When I come home after a whole day of work and I'm really exhausted, that one run towards me and the unconditional love is
amazing.
Is worth every injection I ever took. But I think, it was time to then share my story, and I'm happy that you gave me the venue to share it. And
I'm so happy.
I want this not to be a social taboo. I know a lot of people who've gone through it who don't want to talk about it, who are ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Like, if you had the flu, would you be ashamed to go to the doctor? Like,
no.
This was a medical condition. I went to the doctor. I have a lovely baby, and that's all that matters.
Tell me a little bit about Vinita Di.
So Vinita Di, I volunteer at the temple during Durga Puja and other festivities. She always volunteers in the temple. She's a very big Shakti Bhakt. Both of us are, but she's definitely there. And she really supported me through that period. And I remember Sandhi Puja time, we were both on each other's side waiting to light the candles. And she looked at there, and Panditji was doing the puja, and I looked at her, and she was crying and I was crying. And I know she was praying for me and saying that next time, may you come being pregnant, or with a baby.
Yes,
and it was just mutual. We never said anything. We were on either side of the stage. And I knew that she was such a well-wisher, right? That she did not shun me, or she didn't say, oh, you can't do these things because, you are barren. Right? Thankfully, I was not, but point is that it could have been.
At the time of low, if you have just one person, and that's all it matters. And if you have God with you, you have that faith. So in that case, I'll really say that you are still very fortunate because you have your mom, who is a strong support and a big worshipper of Goddess Durga. You have good friends who were there with you, your husband too. So, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because even on my husband, it was very hard because obviously I had mood swings, many more than we usually have, and more frequent. And, he had to put up with it.
I'm sure he understood that to make you the mother, he has to go through this process.
He did. But I did have to, he was a big support, and I cannot in any way have gone through it without his support, because there are a lot of men who don't support their women when they take certain things. Even today I'm sitting and talking about it because my husband supported me and said, go do it. If this is your call, go and talk about it. There's nothing to be shy about.
So with whatever you went through today, what makes you feel good? What gives you solace from what you have gone through? I want to know that. What do you do to put everything at peace?
I think the spiritual anchor that I got during that time, really helps me to anchor me down.
Yes.
I think because I have struggled, I think I have a lot more empathy. Not, I won't say sympathy, but empathy for women.
Yes.
And I'm out there to help anyone.
Yes.
On an ongoing basis, we have helped some, but if more come and they need help and they are like, I don't know where to start, like I'm here.
Yes.
So I think that gives me a lot of peace that I can actually openly talk about it. I think it would kill me if I could not talk about it. If my husband said, you know what, this is hush-hush, this is very private, I don't want you to talk about it. Like it was my problem. So let me, it got resolved for me and we have a happy family. So
Why
You know,
not?
so I think that gives me a lot of peace.
I have
And
to
my
tell-
baby.
Yes, I have to tell you, you're a very beautiful woman, and I'm so happy that you have come and you have told your tale to everybody. So many women, they might be listening to you, and they can relate to your story, and it will help them. Thank you so much. You're
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I really love you.
Thank you.
वक्त किसके पास है, सभी यही पूछते हैं। आर यू बिजी? अब कौन समझे कि वेदर यू हैव टाइम और नॉट, फ्यू थिंग्स कैन नॉट बी इग्नोर्ड, जैसे कि माई लुक्स। आई वुड नॉट लाइक टू टेल एनीवन हाउ आई मैनेज टू लुक गुड, बट आई मेक श्योर आई बाय द बेस्ट. Keep myself well informed about the latest trend, and also it has to be reasonable. E-Variety पर वैलेंटाइंस डे के खास मौके पर कुछ खास ऑफर्स आपको मिलेगा, जैसे कि $50 की खरीदारी करने पर आपको 35% डिस्काउंट दिया जाएगा और साथ ही आपका शिपमेंट एकदम मुफ्त होगा. वैलेंटाइंस डे पर और क्या डिस्काउंट्स आपको मिल सकते हैं, इसके लिए प्लीज विजिट www.evarity.com. ऑर्गेनिक फूड के आजकल लाखों फायदे हैं, खासकर जब बात आती हो मांस मछली की.
The source of the meat has to be certified organic. The feed that they're fed has to be certified organic. Their water must be potable, which means that it must be water that you and I could drink.
इसके लिए आप खरीदारी वहां से करें जहां पर your health is considered to be important.
When you're looking at certified organic beef, because they're not being fed antibiotics, that means that these beef have to be healthy their entire life.
जब चाहे आपका मन हो तब जमजम मार्केट से फ्रेश जूस, मुगलाई खाना, ताज़ा सब्जी की खरीदारी यहाँ से कीजिए. फ्रीमॉन्ट में आपकी खिदमत के लिए है जमजम मार्केट.
Smile like you never have before. Dentist Dr. Hema Patel welcomes you for dental treatment, dental care, cosmetic, and general dentistry. Special care is taken for young children at Dr. Hema Patel's dental office. Smile Plus Dentistry is in Fremont and is very conveniently located on Maury Avenue. Smile Plus Dentistry is in Fremont and is very conveniently located on Maury Avenue.
Hi, I'm your dentist and I'm Dr. Hema Patel.
At 510-796-1656.
Landing a mortgage loan opens the door to home ownership, but it's no longer easy as it was during boom times. If you want to buy a home today without overpaying for a mortgage loan, it's important to choose a competent professional to help make the process smooth. Because the mortgage opens the door to home ownership, it's where you can least afford to make mistakes. Because any mistake can kill the deal. To know more about your loan, what should be the price of your home, which you can afford, what payments fit within your budget, or what type of loan program is right for your home purchase, please contact mortgage specialist Tony Kaziko at 510-828-8435. Welcome back. Friends, as you know that today is our first episode of Ekla Cholo. I would like to invite you to be a part of Ekla Cholo. You can be a guest of Ekla Cholo by sharing your unique story, how you overcame your adversities. Tell us and share with us the uniqueness, how you handled your challenges and came out victorious. We are here to share your stories so that we can connect, encourage, motivate and empower others through this program. Just a friendly reminder that don't forget to support my sponsors जिनके जानिब से हम ये प्रोग्राम आप तक लाते हैं. And if you're organizing any event or would like to announce regarding your services in our show, then please contact me at 510-593-7151 or send an email to papiha@papiha.com.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে.
When your daughter was going through this hard time in her life,
Yes.
and she was not able to become a mother, what toll did it put on you and how did you give her a support?
Well, that time I told her not to worry.
Okay.
One day at 2:30,
At 2:30 in the morning?
Night. Yeah, early morning.
Yeah.
Early morning.
She was bleeding,
Yes.
and first they thought they won't disturb me and my husband. We were downstairs, they were upstairs, they were going to the UCSF. And then she said, "Ma, I'm going because I'm bleeding." I said, "Nothing will happen. Take it easy. You will be fine." Then she came back and she says, "I don't know. A lump came out and I think I lost my baby." So don't worry. You will
That's
get
such a blessing
again.
to have someone who
it
says,
was
"Don't worry."
Midnight.
Yes.
Midnight. And then she used to tell me, "When will it happen? It is going to happen. Why are you worried? You just have faith in God and you will get a baby." And I think that was the time when she needed my support. Besides her husband, my husband is little quieter type to discuss on these topics. But I said, "You see, since you have gone through all the pains, every day she had to take an injection at the back, and I used to tell her, I have carpal tunnel, I cannot do it." So somehow, some of our friends, they were very nice, they helped her, and she has gone through so much of pain, mental as well as physical. I said, "Oh, all these are because you are going to have a baby. You just go ahead with the procedures and I'm sure you will get the baby." That was a big support which I could give at that time. I was much younger.
You're still young.
Well, in the heart.
Yes. That's all it matters. Yes.
Yeah. So I said, "Why do you worry? You know, if you worry, then you will mess up other things. You better not worry about these small things. These are very small things in life. And I'm sure one day you will get the baby."
Good.
And this is how the thing ended.
I'm
and
so
she
happy.
got Ashish.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much. Give a hand to everybody.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
However, not all stories have a fairy tale ending. Logically, one would wonder, what has a physical problem got to do with social stigma? What is the connection here? Let's watch how this show is precisely designed to provide answers to this and many other questions that are plaguing the minds of educated and young women who are totally oblivious to such occurrences as it has never touched their lives. Like Ritu Ganguly says, it happens more often than we would care to admit. Even among the Indians in the US, especially those women whose life do not follow a set path, they suffer discrimination, stigma, and ostracism. For example, when Ritu was gently asked to stay away from functions, it was almost perceived as normal and there was absolutely no sense of wrongdoing. This indicates how deeply entrenched is this perception that a childless woman is somewhat abnormal or does not fit the mold. Our another guest, Tina Solanki, who narrates the experiences of a loved one, agrees and says that in Indian culture, the relatives, when getting together, talk a lot about the children or being pregnant and having children. Those are the moments when the woman feels extremely isolated. Sometimes stigma extends to the wider family. including siblings, parents, and in laws, who are deeply disappointed for the loss of continuity of the family and contribution to the community. This amplifies the guilt and shame felt by the infertile individual.
तो ये बताइए कि आपकी ज़िंदगी में क्या अनुभव रहा आपका?
मैं जिसके बारे में बोलना चाहती हूँ,
जी,
शी इज़ अ फैमिली मेम्बर
जी,
एंड मैं उसके साथ में ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप रही हूँ, सो आई नो व्हाट शी वेंट थ्रू.
अच्छा,
जो पेन वो गई है मुझे शेयर करना है, बिकॉज आफ्टर seeing and listening to what Ritu said, I felt like I should tell each and every bit of what she went through.
जी,
बिकॉज उससे क्या होगा कि एटलीस्ट जो लेडीज़ जो इंडिया से अभी रिसेंटली यहाँ पे आई है,
जी,
जिनके पास कोई सपोर्ट सिस्टम नहीं है, व्हाट दे विल डू.
या, ओह ग्रेट.
सो द फैमिली मेम्बर जिसके बारे में मैं बात करना चाहती हूँ,
डू यू माइंड सेइंग हर नेम, और वो आपके रिश्ते में क्या लगती हैं कि आपको थोड़ा रिजर्वेशन है उसमें?
मुझे उसमें रिजर्वेशन.
ठीक है, तो आप कोई भी ऐसा नाम आप उसको दीजिए जो आप उसके लिए सही समझती हैं, और उस हिसाब से वही नाम से आप उसको पुकारें.
ओके, सोनिया में भी.
सोनी, ठीक है.
Yeah.
हाँ, तो बोलिए सोनिया के साथ क्या हुआ?
सोनिया एक्चुअली हम लोग साथ एज अ सिस्टर ही मैं बोल सकती हूँ, बट शी इज़ अ फैमिली मेम्बर.
एक साथ बड़े हुए आप
एक
लोग?
साथ बड़े हुए, एक ही थाली में खाना खाया है.
जी.
सो जब भी वेकेशंस होता था वो यहाँ पे मेरे साथ में लाइक आते थे एंड वी यूज्ड टू एक साथ बैठ के खाना खाना, लाइक खेलना.
जी,
वो मेरे से 4 साल बड़ी है.
जी,
एंड शी गॉट मैरिड एंड
जी.
इट वाज एन अरेंज मैरिज.
जी,
उसके बाद लाइक 7 years हो गया एंड लाइक शी वॉज अ वर्किंग वुमन है.
जी.
उनके हस्बैंड भी लाइक दे आर ऑल ब्रॉड माइंडेड पीपल.
जी,
तो उनको ऐसे नहीं था कि ओके शादी हो गई चलो अभी बच्चा करते हैं.
जी,
दे वांटेड टू एंजॉय देयर मैरिड लाइफ.
जी,
3 साल पास हो गए, 4 साल पास हो गए, एंड नाउ दे स्टार्टेड ट्राइंग आउट. तो द थिंग व्हाट हैपेंड इज दे डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली व्हाई दे आर नॉट हैविंग द बेबी. And she used to come and she was very close to me and my mom, and she used to cry a lot. She said, I don't know what's happening to me, why God is not blessing me. People started talking and they were like, 5 साल हो गए कुछ नहीं हुआ, लगता है इसमें प्रॉब्लम है. And
जब आप ये बात कहती हैं तो उसमें मैं ये कहूँगी कि बिकॉज वी हैव किड्स एंड इट केम टू अस सो इजीली, तो हमें वाकई में पता नहीं चलता है कि इसके पीछे एक औरत जो माँ बनने वाली है उसके क्या इमोशंस हैं. हमको तो पता ही नहीं है क्योंकि हम उस दौर से गुजरे नहीं हैं. तो अगर आप उस वक्त में उसके साथ थी तो व्हाट डिड शी गो थ्रू, आपने क्या देखा?
शी यूज टू सिट विथ मी. जनरली हम लोग बाहर जाते थे बिकॉज घर का माहौल वैसा नहीं था कि शेयर कर सके.
जी,
सो शी यूज टू टेल मी कि ऑल पर्सनल थिंग्स कि मुझे पता नहीं क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, वी आर ट्राइंग आवर बेस्ट. इनफैक्ट देयर वाज अ सिस्टम, मैं तब कॉलेज में थी, बट बिफोर मैरिज मुझे सब पता था कि वुमेन की बॉडी कैसे चेंज होती है, व्हाट इज़ द ओव्यूलेशन टाइम, उसको सब किया था. लाइक शी हैज़ टू गो थ्रू डॉक्टर एंड एवरीथिंग. सो व्हाट हर हस्बैंड सजेस्टेड कि अगर ऐसे नहीं हो रहा है, लेट्स गो एंड टेक मेडिकल हेल्प.
जी,
सो दैट्स व्हाट दे डिड. एज रितु मेंशन, उसको भी बेबी शावर से शी वाज नॉट इनवाइटेड.
Oh really?
And
this is really
it's
bad.
really bad.
Oh my God, it's so hurting. Yes.
It's hurting. She used to cry.
Yeah.
And she used to tell कि दूसरी एक औरत को blame कर रही है कि तुम बच्चा नहीं
तुमको नहीं हो सकता.
You cannot this thing. So we used to console her all the time. Like ऐसा नहीं है, भगवान ने सबको अलग अलग बनाया है.
जी.
And my dad always used to say that जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. अगर तुम्हें ये पीरियड में नहीं हो रहा है, इट मे बी सम रीजन,
जी,
थोड़ा आगे थोड़ा वेट करो, देर है अंधेर नहीं है.
जी,
that's what I can say.
जी.
So after 7 years, 7 year पास हो गए, then they went a very big doctor in Bombay. मैं उनका नाम लेना चाहूँगी बिकॉज इट्स
जरूर बताइए.
डॉक्टर मालपानी, जो कि चर्च गेट में है, एंड यहाँ से लोग वहाँ पे जाते हैं because they know that India में it's
he's a good doctor.
He's a very good doctor and थोड़ा सा cheap हो जाता है वहाँ पे procedure and everything.
समझ गई. हाँ.
तो मैं भी उनके साथ जाती थी, and the reason मुझे शेयर करना है because मेरे आस पड़ोस वाले मेरी मम्मी को बोलते थे आपकी बेटी की तो शादी भी नहीं हुई और आप उनको इस चीज़ों में ढकेल रहे हैं.
अरे बाप
काइंड
रे,
ऑफ मुझे सब
हाँ।
पता चल जाए. एंड माय मॉम
जी।
इज लाइक ओके, वो लोग साथ में पले बड़े हैं, इट्स ओके, आई डोंट माइंड.
जी जी.
So मैं जाती थी and I have seen all the procedure. They went to all the test, both husband and wife. At the end, doctor said the reason is unknown. ना आप में problem है, ना आप में problem है. We don't know what is the reason. So again they are back to square one. क्या करेंगे? So then the doctor called back and they said there is a procedure. I'm talking this 10 years back.
जी.
IVF करके procedure है. So we would like to do it on you.
It's called in vitro fertilization, am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right?
जी.
Yes. Yeah, so it's called that. And then she consulted with everybody and मैंने भी बोला चलो क्या है. I mean, there's nothing harm in doing it.
जी.
And when I saw the pain she was going through every day, because now we know she doesn't have a problem. Husband doesn't have a problem.
पर बच्चा नहीं हो रहा.
नहीं हो रहा.
जी.
So then the doctor suggested to go for hormone injections.
जी.
So it was like every day मैं उसके साथ जाती थी. She used to get hormone injections, both this sides, and it was like whole grey patch हो गया था. It was every day.
Okay.
That I'll go in details the time the ovulation starts.
जी.
It's like every time, like she used to go, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, अपने इंजेक्शन लेके जाओ, दो लगा के
Oh, okay.
and she used to cry a lot.
Oh,
So when she came back and like when everything was
fine.
it's time to put the embryo, the egg in, she was really like praying to God, and I was with her. And this I will say because my own sister, she told me, उसके साथ मत जाओ. And I said why? Because I was in college that time. तो मुझे पता नहीं है कि ये ऐसे मना क्यों कर रहा है. And now I know what is the reason कि वो मुझे मना क्यों किया, because I will know everything what happened after marriage.
Oh, so they didn't want you to know that after marriage you have sex?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was one of the things. I said, no,
Shame on you, you should not know. How old were you at that time?
I was 19.
19.
So I went and she was like very nicely, and she was holding my hand and she was like shaking, you know, when the doctor will call, when the doctor will call. And I said, it's okay, because I was going through the Malpani's book and I was doing so positive reviews. You will definitely get pregnant. Then she went in, and I think after 30 days, they put like 3 embryos, 3 eggs in, fertilized egg. And after a month or so, she something happened, and she went to check, and they all were gone. So she lost the baby.
Oh, okay. I thought she got pregnant.
No,
okay.
no, no.
Yeah.
It was very hard time because I was very happy when you know they put the eggs in, and I said, now you're going to get pregnant. Everybody will be very happy, especially your husband and their family members. But after a month or so, and she was like, my stomach is aching. And then when they went, and it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but as a, you know, I can say her as my own sister, having and sharing each and every problem. She also knows a lot of my problems, but she was like, crying a lot, and she was holding my mama's hand, and she was saying, I don't know what to do. Why God is just giving me, not anybody else. But at the same time, if you think, okay, why me? If you see the other ladies, they are not even have that much money to go and pay for it, and you're going in a very good hospital for it. So she took like around 6 months break, and she had that much courage to go all over again. So she went.
She didn't lose faith
No.
or hope.
No,
Yeah,
no,
she
no.
didn't lose hope.
She was having a support system of her family members, her husband, definitely my mother, and I'm the closest one, so me. I cannot say that being 19 years of age I can give that much support system, but I was there.
But you were a big moral support for her.
Each and every step I was there, whether other people say or
So,
not.
and then what happened after 7 years? When did she conceive then?
She conceived the second
Were
time.
you there at that time?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us.
The doctor, each and every step, okay, this is what I'm going to do. If you miss, it's okay, it's fine. There's always a second chance. Okay, so don't lose hope. But the first go itself, she got pregnant, and they put 3. Luckily, all 3, like, she can see all the 3 heartbeats.
Oh, so,
She can hear all the 3 heartbeats.
wow! Oh my God!
But-
कहते हैं ना भगवान जब देता है तो छप्पर मार के देता है.
But उनके नसीब में एक ही होगा. So then after few weeks it was one heartbeat.
जी.
So she was again tension ले रहे थे. Then we said okay, don't worry, हो जाएगा just भगवान पे. After 9 months, a very healthy baby, and he's right now 6-year-old.
जी.
But what one thing I would say is, I don't know if anybody would relate to me or not, but any lady who doesn't have a support system,
जी.
वो still कर सकती है. There's a will, there is a way.
Yes.
Right? So if you have a strong determination and a willpower that I want to have my own child.
Thank you very much, Tina. Thank you for sharing your story.
लीजिए वक्त आया एक छोटे से ब्रेक का और हमारे स्पॉन्सर्स आप तक क्या पैगाम पहुंचाना चाहते हैं चलिए देखते हैं. Please don't go anywhere as we have so much more to tell you in this episode of Infertility. So stay tuned and we'll be right back after these messages. वक्त किसके पास है? सभी यही पूछते हैं. Are you busy? अब कौन समझे कि whether you have time or not, few things cannot be ignored. जैसे कि my looks. I would not like to tell anyone how I manage to look good, but I make sure I buy the best. Keep myself well informed about the latest trend and also it has to be reasonable. E-Variety पर वैलेंटाइंस डे के खास मौके पर कुछ खास ऑफर्स आपको मिलेगा, जैसे कि $50 की खरीदारी करने पर आपको 35% डिस्काउंट दिया जाएगा और साथ ही आपका शिपमेंट एकदम मुफ्त होगा. वैलेंटाइंस डे पर और क्या डिस्काउंट्स आपको मिल सकते हैं, इसके लिए प्लीज विजिट www.evarity.com. ऑर्गेनिक फूड के आजकल लाखों फायदे हैं, खासकर जब बात आती हो मांस मछली की.
The source of the meat has to be certified organic. The feed that they're fed has to be certified organic. Their water must be potable, which means that it must be water that you and I could drink.
इसके लिए आप खरीदारी वहाँ से करें जहाँ पर your health is considered to be important.
When you're looking at certified organic beef, because they're not being fed antibiotics, that means that these beef have to be healthy their entire life.
जब चाहे आपका मन हो तब जमजम मार्केट से फ्रेश जूस, मुगलाई खाना, ताज़ा सब्जी की खरीदारी यहाँ से कीजिए. फ्रीमॉन्ट में आपकी खिदमत के लिए है जमजम मार्केट.
Smile like you never have before. Dentist Dr. Hema Patel welcomes you for dental treatment, dental care, cosmetic, and general dentistry. Special care is taken for young children at Dr. Hema Patel's dental office. Smile Plus Dentistry is in Fremont and is very conveniently located on Maury Avenue. Smile Plus Dentistry is in Fremont and is very conveniently located on Maury Avenue.
Hi, I'm your dentist and I'm Dr. Hema Patel.
At 510-796-1656.
Landing a mortgage loan opens the door to home ownership, but it's no longer easy as it was during boom times. If you want to buy a home today without overpaying for a mortgage loan, it's important to choose a competent professional to help make the process smooth. Because a mortgage opens the door to home ownership, it's where you can least afford to make mistakes. Because any mistake can kill the deal. To know more about your loan, what should be the price of your home, which you can afford, what payments fit within your budget, or what type of loan program is right for your home purchase, please contact mortgage specialist Tony Kaziko at 510-828-8435. Welcome back. Thank you for enjoying the show as well as for your calls. Do not hesitate to call me with your suggestions. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and other social medias. To sponsor or to do a public announcement for any non-profit organization, please call me at 510-593-7151 or send an email to papiha@papiha.com.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে.
I have two things to tell. I saw Ritu very closely. She's actually my aunt, and I want to talk about two things which she mentioned in her speech earlier. I think in 2009 August, She was not having Ashish by then, so she's still going through this process. So my marriage was in August 15th. I was here on August 9th. She did my bridal shower.
Oh.
For people who ever think that calling people like that who is going through tough time in their life is not good, they should listen to this. She did my bridal shower. I was happily married, and actually, in fact, she's the one who found my husband for me. And I have my baby, 2-year-old beautiful daughter, and she loves Ritu. She calls her Ritu, Ritu. But there is no such thing. Please, if the person who hurt my aunt doing that is listening to this, be happy.
I have seen couples who could never have kids. And especially being a South Indian myself, or being a certain type of family who are against adopting or who have a lot of hang-ups about adopting, number one. I have seen the couples either grow very close together because they see it as their problem and not her problem.
Right.
Yeah.
But the couples who look at it as a lady's problem, and even another lady who is the mother-in-law or the patriarch or matriarch of the family, they think that this girl is a curse to my son. They don't look at it like, oh, it is a family problem. It is their
Or maybe a health
problem.
issue, right?
Or a health issue. They think
And it could be either husband or the wife. Yeah.
Exactly. Or not, if it is proved that, okay, so the infertility thing is happening with the girl, they see it as another reason to find fault.
Yes.
Already the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law thing will be there. There will be some undercurrents.
Yeah.
But they'll see this as a reason. And if the husband is not even strong in
To
the
protect.
relationship itself and doesn't look at it as his problem, then it causes a rift between the husband and wife too.
Yeah.
दोस्तों, आप देख रहे हैं पपीहा के साथ प्रोग्राम एकला चलो रे। पैगाम ये है कि हिम्मत ना हार और जिंदगी में अकेले आगे बढ़ रे। क्या हुआ जो अब अंधेरा है? किसने कहा कि कल सवेरा नहीं होने वाला है? इत्मीनान से आगे बढ़ और देख कि इस कोहरे में भी तू नहीं अकेला है। तू क्यों चला हिम्मत हार कर? तेरा ज्यादा फिक्र करता है परवरदिगार। क्या हुआ जो तू मझधार में है? वो है ना जो करेंगे नैया पार।
Feel like a woman will never be there, never.
Yes.
Because we have God Almighty has blessed us with have the power of nurturing other people. And when you do it for a kid, regardless, you can never be. I mean, Lord Krishna, think about it. I mean, that's an ultimate
Form of a child.
right? So when we have that love that we can give to any child, it doesn't have to be your own. I mean, I feel you're never barren. You cannot be, because we can give that unconditional. We are made. Women are made to give that unconditional love, to especially to the kids. So I feel the topic is so strong. I mean, I'm listening to these stories. There's amazing stories. However, I feel like a child is a child. Honestly,
Your own child is a child.
when you feel like I have known people who have 2 kids and have adopted another kid, and they have felt even more precious. That person, that third person, is more precious, more closer to their heart. It's unbelievable. It's actually, this topic is now giving me like goosebumps, because initially I didn't think it was very close to my heart, but now I'm thinking about all these people who have experienced and have gone through this. So I, more and more I'm like, no, this is, it's unbelievable. Your story and Ritu's story. Ritu, you were incredible. So thank you for sharing this, and thank you for inviting me here, seriously.
Woman has to come out of the cage, and if nobody is supporting her, she has to fight for herself. She is the strong lady. She can do, if she decides to do it, she can do anything. That's Ma Durga power is inside the woman. That's why every Shakti, every power is woman. That's why we do everything. Taking care of the home, the carrying the baby, every single thing. If you look at in your wake up, open your eyes, and you look at, you are the pole of the house. The day you down, the pole is down. House falls over. So you have to make a strong power, and this is the all women message. You are the strong person. You take over the things by yourself.
आखिर में आप सभी इस बात का अनुभव कर सकते हैं कि इस समस्या का जैसा भी हल हो, ये यही संदेश देता है कि सामाजिक सहायता और सहानुभूति की सबसे अधिक जरूरत इस वक्त एक महिला को होती है। इसमें और अधिक जानकारी और ऐसे कई प्रेरणादायक कहानियों से भरा हुआ है एकला चलो रे। ये एक परिवर्तनशील, क्रांतिकारी और प्रेरणादायक टीवी सीरीज है जिसमें हम कैसे मामूली समझ को महान में परिवर्तित कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में हम आपको दिखाएंगे। हमारे अगले कार्यक्रम में हम कुछ अनुभवी और सोचने पर मजबूर कर देने वाली ऐसी कहानियां जिसमें इंडियन पेरेंट्स किस तरह से अपने अमेरिकन बॉर्न बच्चों की परवरिश करने में क्या-क्या दिक्कतों का सामना करते हैं, उसके बारे में हम आपको दिखाएंगे। सो स्टे ट्यून फॉर आवर नेक्स्ट एपिसोड।
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
दोस्तों, उम्मीद है एकला चलो से कुछ आपका हौसला बढ़ा हो, कुछ कर दिखाने की आपने दिल में ठान ली हो, निर्दयी खुदगर्ज की भावना को निकालकर प्यार की गर्माहट हो, सहनशीलता और हौसले की आप में भरमार हो। पपिहा की यही दुआ है कि अमन और खुशहाली हर तरफ हो। इसी दुआ के साथ मैं आप सभी से इजाज़त चाहूँगी। बड़ों का आशीर्वाद चाहती हूँ, छोटों का प्यार, और आप सभी अपने दुआ में मुझे ज़रूर याद रखिएगा। आप सभी को पपिहा का प्यार भरा नमस्कार, अल्लाह हाफिज़ और सत श्री अकाल।
তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি সবাই ফিরে যায় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাবার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাবার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, তবে পথের কাঁটা রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে